Rohan was a dreamer. He was a boy who lived in the clouds. His head was always somewhere else. This made it hard for him to focus on the here and now. The present moment seemed to escape him. He would much rather spend his time lost in thought. The real world, with its chores and duties, felt far away. Rohan was known for his procrastination. He put things off until the last possible moment. Chores piled up around him. His parents would plead with him to be more responsible. "Rohan," his mother would say, her voice laced with concern, "you need to start taking things seriously." But Rohan would just shrug. He didn't understand the urgency. "There's always enough time," he would reply, with a dreamy look in his eyes. Word spread through the village like wildfire. A wise old man named Mr. Gupta had arrived. Mr. Gupta was known throughout the land for his wisdom and guidance. People travelled for miles to seek his advice. He had a way of looking at life that was different. Mr. Gupta saw the world through the lens of experience. He understood the value of time. He knew that it was a precious gift not to be wasted. Rohan's parents, desperate for a solution, decided to seek Mr. Gupta's help. Perhaps this wise old man could instill some sense of responsibility in their son. They brought Rohan to Mr. Gupta, hoping for a miracle. Mr. Gupta listened patiently as Rohan's parents spoke. He observed Rohan, who sat restlessly, his gaze drifting towards the window. A knowing smile touched Mr. Gupta's lips. He had met many young men like Rohan before. Mr. Gupta took out a small hourglass. The sand sparkled in the sunlight as he turned it over. "Rohan," he began, his voice gentle but firm, "time is like this hourglass." Rohan watched mesmerized as the sand trickled down. "Each grain of sand represents a moment in time," Mr. Gupta continued. "Once a moment is gone, it's gone forever." "But there's always more sand," Rohan pointed out, confused. "The hourglass keeps flowing." Mr. Gupta shook his head slowly. "But what if the hourglass breaks, Rohan?" he asked. "What if your time runs out before you realize it?" Rohan stared at the hourglass, a knot of unease forming in his stomach. For the first time, he understood. Time wasn't infinite, it was precious, and it was slipping away. Mr. Gupta taught Rohan about setting goals. He explained the importance of prioritizing tasks. He showed Rohan how to manage his time effectively. Rohan, inspired by Mr. Gupta's wisdom, began to change. He started small, tackling one task at a time. He discovered a sense of accomplishment in completing his chores. As Rohan embraced the value of time, he found himself drawn to the people around him. He realized that relationships were precious too. He began to cherish the moments he spent with his family and friends. Rohan's transformation inspired others in the village. He became a role model for the younger generation, teaching them to value their time and pursue their dreams. The village, once filled with procrastination and unfulfilled potential, began to thrive under the shared wisdom of Mr. Gupta and the transformed Rohan.